Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Priscilla. I'm the owner of A Life Full of Simplicity. Today's going to be a different kind of video. I don't know, I was in a mood to do something completely different on my channel. And I decided, why don't we do something for Cancer season? So I decided maybe let's do a spread or something. So we're going to see how this goes because I don't know. It's like the first time I'm doing something like this on my channel. So I decided to take out the Star Codes Astro Oracle. This is by Heather Rowan Robbins and artwork by Lucas Lua de Souza. This is published by Hay House. And I wanted to see what I could do in terms of like a Cancer season spread. And I've been wanting to do like some different things on my channel, but I've been kind of like burnt out on things from work, so I haven't really been doing anything new. So let's give this a try and see how it goes. So I took out the card for Cancer. So this is the card in this particular deck. Keyword on this card is immerse. And then I decided to check my birth chart to see what house does Cancer rule in my specific chart and what kind of placements are there. So in my chart, Cancer is the 6th house, which the keyword here is sustainability. And the only placement that I have in my 6th house is the South Node, which I don't know much about the nodes yet. But I do know the keyword is past, and I do know that the South Node is about past lives, I believe. So yeah, that's all I really know. So if you want to follow along and do something similar for yourself, if you have this particular deck, then you can do the same thing as me. If you don't, then just get like whatever astrological oracle deck that you have in your collection, if you have one in your collection. And just pull. If not, you can use a tarot. Cancer is associated with, oh God, which card is it associated with? I'm probably gonna have to Google this because I don't remember. Actually, do I have my book handy? I have books behind me. I should probably use them. Yes, I do. Okay, let's look. I have Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kenner, published by Llewellyn. Let's see. Cancer. Is it the Chariot? I think it's the Chariot, right? 50. That's my gut feeling, but could also check the Decans or Decanic Journey book that I have also. Yeah, the Chariot. Okay. Yeah, so you could use a tarot if you want to instead. Cancer is associated with the Chariot card. So yes. Okay, I'm going to keep this handy so I can use it if I need it. Okay. I'm going to use the Oracle because for me that's easiest. Like in my mind, I feel like that's easiest for me. And I'm probably just going to take some notes on my phone because wow, this is going to be a reading for myself on camera. So I'm just going to open up my notes. Let's call this Cancer season. Okay. Okay, so we have the Cancer card. Okay. And Cancer, the keyword associated in this particular deck is immerse. So what does it say? In this particular deck, it gives you an action, challenge, and a gift. So the action is telling me specifically to connect with the parent archetype. And then it gives you 2 different situations, whether you need to parent yourself or other people. And When I read for myself, I never include other people. So I'm going to assume more the parenting myself in this situation. So it says, if you're in need of parenting yourself, reach out to the divine mother and father, to the earth beneath the sky above, and feel held. Once you feel fed by spirit, it becomes easier to accept the ordinary human limitations of the people around you. It also talks about nourishing connections. And it says Cancer calls us to deepen our relationship to home, but not to get stuck in this protective shell. If you need more out of life, you'll have to leave the safety to find what you need. Find a home base or a safe place within your soul. And from that safety, be ready to brave exploration and risk caring with all your heart. Then in terms of the challenge, it says, remember that your very defenses you think will keep you safe may actually keep important people out. It says to soften your shell, you have a backbone and are not protected solely by an exoskeleton. That's funny. And then the gift, it talks about a psychic pool. It says float in the ocean of collective consciousness and feel cradled, nurtured by the divine mother, fed and cuddled. Weird. I don't know. I definitely like the parenting oneself, but more in the sense of rather than accepting the limitations of others, rather accepting my own limitations and nourishing the connection with oneself rather than with others, because that's fine. And then opening myself up more. Okay. I'm going to write some things down in terms of that, because I feel like I'm going to do probably a conversation spread where I have this card and then pull a tarot to expand on that particular card. I think that's what I'm going to do for this particular thing. And then, of course, when it comes to the Chariot, specifically if you're doing this with tarot, I would say if you're doing this with tarot because you don't have an astrological oracle deck, I would say that pick a keyword of the tarot that I guess relates to you in that moment or stands out to you in that moment, and then proceed with that and see how that relates to like yourself, and then proceed to like doing that conversation by pulling another card on how you can build upon that particular thing. So for the Cancer card, which is immerse, right? And immersing means to like go within, in my opinion, like dive in, immerse, right? What's the meaning of immerse? Let's Google that actually. Dip or submerge in liquid. Okay, involve oneself deeply in a particular activity or interest. Okay. I'm actually going to put that. Immerse equals involve oneself deeply in a particular activity or interest. I'm going to add in diving into something deep. Because I feel like when it comes to like Cancer season and like immersing yourself into something, you're going to be diving into something deeply, in my opinion. So maybe this is the theme for the month, for the Cancer season itself. So needing to like dive deeper into oneself. because it talks about the parenting yourself, right? And it also talks about, parenting others, where it says if you're called to parent others in this situation, whether in love or work, do so with a balanced approach of honest feedback and support and self-care. Nurture without enabling. Model what you want others to do, which is interesting. I like the nurture without enabling part. And I'd like to do that with myself rather than with others, personally. So let's see. So dive deeper into oneself. Look at the limitations that others have on me personally. I'm going to add that I have on myself, and then I want to add the limitations and the limitations that I put on others. Because I feel like people do put limitations on other people, and they might not do it without thinking, which I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I do that without thinking, like putting limitations on other people. And that's something definitely I want to look at. Not putting limitations, like looking at the limitations that people put on me, but as well that I put on others, and then limitations that I put on myself. And that's something that you can dive deep into, in my opinion. And you can definitely immerse yourself into that particular subject. Like it could go on probably forever. I'm also going to put nourish oneself plus connections with others. And then it talked about how if you want something, you need to actually step out and actually go and get it. You can't just be in your like protective shell. So a challenge would be to step out of the comfort zone, like my comfort zone, I guess. Out of my comfort zone to go get what it is I want personally. And not just, I guess, like not just staying cooped up in my own shell. Yeah. Oh, did I spell that right? I don't think so. Okay, there we go. My own shell. Yeah, I don't really care much about the gift part, in my opinion. I like more the action, the challenge, in terms of that. Okay, so I think really the theme of Cancer is really needing to dive deeper into oneself. That's really the theme that I'm going to take from the Cancer card. Now, with the tarot, I want to like develop a question and like see where I can go with that. Okay, maybe I should ask. I know I said oneself, like within myself, but where, like, what specifically do I need to dive deeper into? Like, what subject matter? Okay, so you know what? Let me write down a few questions to ask. So, where do I need to dive deeper? And if you want to just do these particular questions without, like, using the oracle or like pulling specifically the chariot for Cancer season or whatever, you totally could. I will actually leave these down below for you, or I'll make like a little spread picture for it. So where do I need to dive deeper? What limitations am I placing on myself? What limitations am I placing on others? Is really what I want to ask. I don't care so much about the limitations that others are placing on me specifically. I just want to focus right now on the ones that I am placing on myself and the ones that I'm placing on others. So yes. Okay, let's shuffle. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle out 3 cards. So where do I need to dive deeper? Oh, and for this, I'm using the New Chapter Tarot. This is by Catherine Briggs and published by Liminal 11. And I'm using this particular deck because it pairs really well with the Star Codes Oracle, and I like when my pairs match well. Oh, a card fell out. Okay. So we got the 8 of Swords for the deeper question. I already feel like it's telling me I need to go deeper mentally. But I feel like it's also saying, like, maybe remember that there's, like, traps. Then we have the 6 of Cups. I'll show the cards in a moment. 6 of Cups for the limitations on myself, right? Yeah. And then limitations on others. And then we have the 10 of Swords for the limitations on others. Okay. Okay, so where do I need to dive deeper? I got the 8 of Swords. Okay, let me write this down. 8 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords is I typically see it as like trapping yourself. Like you either are playing the victim or you're too much in your mind. So you think that there's no way out in a situation, but really the situation's of your own making and there is a way out of it. And you know that there's a way out. You just are kind of like blind to it in a way. Especially with the person typically wearing a blindfold in the 8 of Swords. So this person is like trapped around all these swords, and of course they can literally just move a sword and they can like leave. But so I feel like, where do I need to dive deeper? I feel like saying that I need to dive deeper into my own mind and my ways of thinking that trap me, my own limitations in thinking, like my own limited thinking. So dive deeper into my own mental limitations that prevent me from moving forward but really these limitations are really of my own doing. I'm also going to rate that I feel like I can change, if I change perspective, that I can actually get out of this thinking. Change or shift. Shift. Kind of like getting out of your own way kind of situation. And apologies for the dog. Yeah, so I need to get out of my own way. That's pretty much what that's saying. Then for the next question, which was, what limitations am I placing on myself? We have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups typically is the nostalgia card. It's like the card of your past, your memories, childhood, inner child, things like that. That's typically what I associate with the Six of Cups. Yeah, Six of Cups. Right? Yeah, Six of Cups. So, what limitations am I placing on myself? I want to say probably comparing things to my past. That goes well actually with the Eight of Swords. In terms of like thinking about certain things that allow you to limit yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go with spending and focusing too much time on my past hinders me from moving forward and brings on the, I guess, the mindset. Someone is on a motorcycle. I guess brings up the mindset of like feeling trapped in situations with that Eight of Swords. Wonder who that person is trying to impress with the motorcycle and the vroom vroom vroom. People trying to, I don't know, it's not a race course, but anyway. I want to say victim mentality. And like trapping yourself in like certain situations. In that regard, I want to see what the guidebook says for the Six of Cups. It says inner peace, integration of the self, kindness. Six of Cups marks a resolution of past trauma stemming from childhood. Not everything has to be perfect. Let go and accept yourself as an evolving being who has come so far already. Forgive yourself for things that were most likely not your fault in the first place and feel comfortable in your own skin. It's all right. Interesting. Okay, so I wrote, what did I write for Cancer? I wrote that aspect of nourishing oneself. There was something else in the nurture without enabling. It says be the emotional leader and connect with the parent archetype. parent archetype. Okay, so I want to change this actually. Brings the mindset. That you're not good enough, but instead I should nurture myself and the things that I'm doing. But don't enable past behaviors, perhaps no, you know what? I want to say, but instead nurture myself without judgment. That's what I want to say. Yeah. Because like I feel like if you nurture yourself without judgment, then you can get past the mentality that the Eight of Swords brings, right? Because the Eight of Swords is like really, it's really yourself that's bringing this mentality into the space, like into your space. So I feel like if I'm nurturing myself without judgment, then I'm not limiting myself to that Eight of Swords. Is to not limit myself with the Eight of Swords. In like that sense. In that particular sense, I feel like. But I feel like also with the Six of Cups, inner child work, you know. I'm really not in the mood for inner child work though. But I'm going to write it down as a note. And I'm going to put in brackets my creative consciousness oracle. Because I actually created a spread not too long ago using one of the cards. So yeah, I'm going to write that down as a note for myself. And then the other question was, what limitations am I placing on others? And I got the Ten of Swords, which is really interesting. Typically, Ten of Swords is about betrayal. It's about backstabbing, really bad ending that need to get through, right? Let's see I want to see what the author says for this particular deck, because it says a swift and brutal ending. After the turmoil of the Nine of Swords, you have argued yourself into standstill, resulting in mental exhaustion. All sides have been considered and examined ad nauseum. Approaching the problem from an intellectual standpoint has reached its conclusion and the limit of helpfulness and the limit of its helpfulness rather. Sorry, I'm like tired. It's time to make a choice. So how am I limiting others with the Ten of Swords? Oh, also I forgot to mention, this particular deck is like Thoth based. That's why I like to read sometimes the guidebook for this one, because I'm thinking of like RWS meanings and not thought. So I like to see what the author has to say instead. So it says it's time to make a choice. But the card itself looks like a healing card. Like if you look at the card, you have this individual here, and then they have their hands on their heart. There's like these vines like growing out of them. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a bunch of swords and like an egg where a snake is like emerging, or maybe it's a dragon, or no, I think it's a snake. The snake emerging from an egg in the center with all the swords stabbing the egg. And then there's like maybe a sunrise or a sunset or something at the top. So maybe I'm being too argumentative with people, and maybe I'm preventing others from moving forward. Or maybe I'm just getting in the way of other people's choices and healing processes. I don't know, actually. That one's difficult. What limitations am I placing on others? Maybe expectations. Because I feel like if you're looking for a specific outcome, or you're looking for a specific choice to be made, you're putting expectations on other people, which could be limiting for them. Okay. You know? Okay, so putting expectations on others that doesn't go in my favor is limiting to what others want. And I feel like with that, like we're all trying to probably move forward. But I feel like if you're all trying to move forward into whatever you're supposed to be doing, when you're limiting yourself and each other, you can't really do that, right? You're kind of like at a standstill. But can't, because the limitations that are being placed. I feel like we need to like lift expectations in order to like heal all of ourselves. Yeah, I like that actually. That's good. Bolding my questions so I can see where in the world everything is. Okay, so that was the 3 cards for that, for the Cancer. Then, like I said, I found where Cancer was in my chart. So Cancer for me is specifically in the 6th house. So if you want to do it for your chart, then you should look in your chart and see where Cancer is in your chart, and just pull out the house card that is representative in your particular chart. So for me, that's the 6th house. And the 6th house is, the keyword here is sustainability. And it's interesting. It says here that the 6th house speaks to where you live out your daily habits. So your work environment, your pets, your mind-body connection, and how you tend to your health. Okay. In terms of action, it says work smarter, not harder. The opposite of a dysfunctional situation is a sustainable ecosystem. Make your life sustainable. Look at the time, resources, love, care, and sweat you put into your life, and assess whether you are putting in as much as you get out, and whether you're receiving as much as you put in. The input and output have to match. So maybe not every day, but certainly every week or month, or you cannot sustain in the long haul. So that makes sense. I feel like burnout is like a really big thing because there's not enough work-life balance. And I feel like for me right now, that's what I'm going through. Because like I feel like there's too much for me to do. I have work, trying to like manage all these things and do so much. And I don't know, there's just a lot going on. So I feel like in this case for me, this is like super relatable. And then in terms of challenge, it says worry can give you the illusion that you're taking care of business, but it does not further your goals. It's interesting. Okay, so I want to write down this card. So 6th house, sustainability. And then kind of just want to write some notes in regards to that. So like have work-life balance. I like the work smarter, not harder deal. So I want to write that as well. I think the focus for this would be to if I'm linking it to the sign of Cancer and to the card of Cancer, that is part of this particular deck with the immerse. I feel like I want to say like dive deeper into how to nurture oneself and focus on oneself while still having a good life balance. And understanding like what that means for me specifically. Dive deeper into how to nurture oneself, focus on oneself while still having good life balance. You want to work towards your goals, not burn out before you even reach them, right? That's important, I think. And then I think I'm just going to write self-care because I feel like that's important too. Like very important. And then for this specifically, I think I only want to pull one card. I feel like I only want to pull one card with this one specifically. How can I focus better on balancing my life? Yeah, I think that's a good one. Okay, let's see. How can I focus better on balancing my life? Focus better on balancing my life. This one. Ooh, the Eight of Cups. Letting go of what literally I don't need. And just moving on. Literally. That's literally what I'm getting from that. And that's why I was laughing, because like the Eight of Cups is like such a moment card. Like you get it and you're like, duh, right? Like hello, of course. But I feel like there's more to it, in my opinion. So obviously you want to focus better on balancing on your life. You want to let go of things that no longer serve you. But I feel like also you want to I feel like also you want to learn, like you want to allow your life experience to like your previous like what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say you want to allow or use the life experience you have so far to allow you to grow. So while even though you're letting go of these things that don't serve you anymore, they served you at some point, right? So for myself, I feel like, and I always say you, but really I mean me. But I always read, a lot of the time I'll read in like third person or like second person and just say you and whatnot and they and things like that. So for me, it's just easier to read that way for myself. So let go of things that no longer serve you, but take what you are letting go as a life lesson and experience for growth. For growth, which is important, right? I want to see what else is saying here, because remember, this is Thoth, and I don't remember what keyword they have with the Eight of Cups. It says setting out on a journey towards the unknown. This is the urge to escape, to seek new soil for the true self to flourish. The past is abandoned for better or worse. You are transitioning from what is familiar to what is unfamiliar. Despite bittersweet goodbyes, this end is a beginning. Okay, so I'm going towards the unknown. So maybe I have to develop better habits for myself to bring a better work-life balance for myself. Okay, so let go of habits that don't help you, but instead bring in new habits that can develop a better focus. Ooh, focus for that work-life balance. I kind of want to tie this into the rest, though. Well, obviously, in terms of sustainability, like, that makes sense, especially in terms of the work smarter, not harder, right? In terms of limitations. Oh, I know. Okay. So I want to say like in terms of limitations and limiting beliefs, I need to let go of like expectations for myself and and a mindset that limits me specifically in terms of moving forward and having that work-life balance, because really it's my expectations that prevent me from having work-life balance. I put too high of expectations on myself. Um, so perhaps I need to change my expectations with that Eight of Swords. And let go of the past that probably is helping with this Eight of Cups. If I'm thinking about the Six of Cups from earlier. Okay, let's see. Let me tell you, speech to text, horrible. This is why I prefer typing. I need to let go of expectations for myself and limiting beliefs. Because it's really my expectations that prevent me from having the work-life balance. I put too high of expectations on myself. So perhaps I need to change my expectations with that Eight of Swords. I don't know why it said Eight of Swords twice. And let go of the past. Listen to this. And let go of the past that probably is helping with this eating of this Eight of Cups. Telling you, speech to text is the worst. Oh my God. And let go of the past with that Six of Cups. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking in terms of the relation, in terms of that. Because, like, oh, I also just realized we have two eights. What are the eights in numerology again? This one. I have Tarot by Numbers by Liz Dean, published by Fairwinds. I love this book so much. Okay, the eights. Yeah, symbolizes change, cycles, and movement. So, Eight of Cups is a change of heart. The emotional work is done, a quiet departure is moving on. Okay, then we have the Eight of Swords, which is restriction and circular thinking. A change in attitude brings freedom. Interesting. Change of heart. change of attitude. Oh, that's interesting because I feel like with the eights, with the what I just read, so a change of attitude and a change of heart, I feel like that goes well with the work-life balance. In terms of like how I need to focus better on balancing life. And I got the Eight of Swords, where do I need to dive deeper? Come on, add this as an extra note. Okay, change of heart and attitude. So like, I want to say needing like to change my, well, I already said change my perspective earlier, but like change my attitude towards taking time and really focusing on like the things that I love personally. But like it being okay if I have like a change of heart on something. Like it's not the end of the world, you know? And I shouldn't be hard on myself about it. That's also another change in attitude. It all goes back to like the setting high expectations for myself. Not to myself, for myself. For myself, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then the last, yeah, I think that's good for that specifically. And then the last card. So then the last thing I looked at in regards to my own chart was what placements do I have in the house that Cancer rules for my chart specifically. So if you want to do this for you, then you would look at which house Cancer is for your specific chart, and you would see if you have any placements in there. It's okay if you don't. Then you would just do, Cancer and then the house. But me specifically, I have one placement. It's my South Node, like I showed earlier. And this keyword is the past. And specifically, it talks about past lives. It talks about looking at old problems, working to heal them, getting to the roots of certain situations. I like this specifically where it says learn new ways to respond, new skills that help when old trauma is triggered or old cravings sing their siren song. Break that spell. Use breathing techniques, investigate dialectic behavior therapy, or do something unexpected just to break those patterns and give you more options here and now. Stay focused on a healthy future of your own making. Then also it talks about as a challenge where it says under stress you may fall back on familiar defenses and relive what you've always lived. And I feel like with this, it definitely goes back to like that aspect of like, that aspect of like burnout and like setting high expectations for myself. So South Node, and then the keywords past. So what do I want to write in regards to that? I want to say I liked what it said. Learn new ways to get through old patterns. It didn't actually say that. I'm just making my own interpretation. So learn new ways to get through old patterns of behavior and old habits that don't serve you in a positive light. I'm gonna put positive light for myself personally. Yeah, and then I want to put like a thing where it kind of relates back to like setting high expectations. So relates back to and I feel like I fall back on that a lot. In that regard. Now, is there anything else I want to I don't feel like I have a question that I want to ask in regards to this specifically. Maybe how can I break the past cycle? Or how can I break the cycle of my past? That's good. That's good in my opinion, I think. Yeah. I think so. I think that's good. Okay. Oh, I should also write. Okay, let's shuffle a card. So how can I break the cycle of my past? Yeah. So I'll make like a little blurb for like the reading, but the thing is I'm not going to include the 6th house and the South Node because that's specifically for my chart, but I'll include some questions specifically for the Cancer card. That way you have the little infographic, at least for that specifically. And I'll try to include some other questions as well, like do a spread for Cancer season. Like around this particular card specifically, the Cancer card from this deck. Whoa. Okay, we have the Princess of Cups that fell out, so I'll take that. Wait, is this the page? I never remember. Let me just check. Yeah, it's the page. Perfect. Funny enough, I had it already open on the cups, and it was right here. Okay, Princess of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. The pages in general are like very naive, childlike. With the cups, I feel like it's about creativity. Well, in the RWS anyway, creativity, learning, creative sparks, like some new creative sparks. But I don't know what that would be here specifically in the Thoth, but let's see. Okay, so it does talk about creativity, which is good. So what does it say? It says compassion and feeling grounded in the material plane through direct action, nurturing, or helping those around you to thrive. The princess champions creativity and fosters appreciation and support of the arts. She's the embodiment of working towards an ideal world, childlike innocence, unselfish love, and rooting what is felt in what can be achieved right now. Interesting. So the childlike innocence gives me child work, inner child work vibes. So I'm just going to write that down because I'm just going to write down the card first. Cups. Okay. Because we got the Six of Cups earlier, and the Six of Cups is inner child. But with the childlike innocence, I feel like inner child work. Yeah, I get it, universe. And again, I think I'm going to put my creative consciousness healing oracle in brackets, so I have a reminder specifically for that. Okay. So, what was it? How can I break the cycle of my past? Yeah. Inner child work, diving into creative endeavors, diving into creative endeavors. I want to say specifically that allow me to be myself. But also help me work through and dive deeper into myself, into myself as well. Because I feel like it goes back to like the Cancer card and the immersing, diving deep. So diving into creative endeavors that allow you to be yourself, but also allow you to dive deeper into yourself. I'm going to put in brackets, get to know oneself better. Oh, it also nourishing, nourish your creativity or creative side as well. Yeah. I like that. Nourish your creativity or creative side. Right? Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I think inner child work is probably the best way to break the cycle of the past. But, yeah. Whatever, Wow, I typed up like 7 pages in my note thing. Okay, so all in all, I feel like looking at this spread specifically, like just looking at my thing, I feel like the real theme for myself for Cancer season is really about diving in, right? Immersing yourself in yourself, pretty much, into the depth of yourself is what I'm getting from that specifically. So it's gonna be a lot of shadow work, I feel like. Shadow, inner child work. I'm not ready for it. I'm definitely not ready for it. So, yeah, I hope this was fun. Definitely eye-opening for me personally. So I'll leave a link down below for like a Cancer season spread that I'll make from at least the first 2 questions, or first 3 questions at least, with the Cancer card. I may add in some other questions. I may change it, honestly. I may change it, but I'll put in a spread for you to do. If you want to do the thing something similar to what I was doing, then use your chart. I got the idea specifically using like cards like this from Veer and Getchell. Like they typically, well, they did. I don't know if they still do, but they did like they started doing their journal by seasons. The last video anyway that I watched. I'll link it down below actually. The last video that I watched from them. They started doing their journal by season, and I was like, oh, this seems really interesting. Like I'm really interested in doing my journal also by season, maybe because I was like so burned out, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore because like I'm so busy with work all the time, so I just don't have the time to do anything. So I was like, okay, maybe I should do it by astrological season too. I think that would be very interesting. And they've done stuff where they'll pull like the cards from their chart, like the house and like what placements are in their chart specifically for that specifically, like that specific house. And I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. So I did something similar to that, but I did it my own way, like my own personal way, where I did like I just pulled specifically the card. Like I didn't pull the sun card, for example, and like all this other stuff, but I pulled specifically Cancer card, and then the two play. Actually, I don't even know if they pull the sun card because the Cancer is going into sun. I don't think so. I think they just do whatever's in their charts, which is what I did. Well, I pulled the cards for my chart specifically, but I don't know what they do with the tarot because they also incorporate tarot into their reading, like their predictions, because they do specifically forecast predictions, and I don't for like the month or for the astrological season, and I don't really do that. So I didn't really do a prediction. I just did like a more like a reading and being like, okay, this is going to be the theme for my astrological season, astrological month of Cancer, and like just doing like a conversation kind of reading where I'm just like, okay, what do I need to work on? What do I need to work towards? I feel like I like that a lot better for me specifically. And if you want like to know how to do like conversational readings, I'll leave a link for Lisa's video because Lisa did like a read tarot with her or something. I don't remember what the series is called specifically, but I'll leave it down below so you can check it out where she actually does one with like a conversational how to do like a conversational thing. So I'll leave that if you want to look at it, watch it in the description box, and I'll try to post it in the cards. If it's on the cards, I'm going to put it in the description box. So yes, so I did something similar to that because that's preferably how I read. Typically that's how I read. It's more conversational style. Unless I'm doing like an actual spread that's created by someone, then no, I'll just do the spread. Unless I have like, I need clarifiers or something, then maybe it'll be a little bit conversational, but majority of the time, if I'm doing a spread, it's just a spread. So this is more conversational in my opinion, where you're just taking it easy, you're looking at a card, you're seeing the keyword, okay, what kind of questions can pop up from that, and then pull cards from there. So that's typically what I do a lot of the time when I freehand readings, because I enjoy that. I enjoy that more. I feel like I get a lot more out of that specifically. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. I don't know. I don't know. Is this something you want to see more? Should I do this next month for what's the next season? Is it no Cancer? No, Leo's August. What's in between Leo? Is it? I don't even know. See how tired I am? I can't even think. Let's see, the 12 zodiac signs. Oh no, yeah, Leo is next. Okay. I was like, yeah, Leo. Leo's next. I'm exhausted, yo. Exhausted. Then it's Virgo. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So yes, do you want me to do this for Leo season? Because if you do, then I'll do it. If not, then I'll just do this by myself. But I thought it was fun. You get to see more of my thought process, I guess, when I do readings. Because I tend to like think about a lot of things. And my mind is constantly like, I'm like constantly trying to think, and then I think too much, and then I'm like kind of all over the place because I'm like thinking of different all these things. But then I try to also like relate things to other cards. Like I know the questions, they pull a card, but I like to tie everything in to see how they all relate together. My mind is like always going, trying to find the connections and things. So let me know if you want to see this again. If you do, then I'll try to do it for Leo season, which is the next one. And yeah, I do thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the bell so you can be notified every time I post a brand new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it's greatly appreciated and of course helps me in the long run. So yes, thanks so much, and I hope that you have a great day and a great Cancer season.